Okay, a very good morning to all of you. So, I welcome you lecture series of electric power quality. Today is our 14th day, nothing but 14th lecture. We are going to discuss some unit 3 voltage regulation and power factor improvement. So now we are going to see how this voltage regulation, how to calculate this voltage regulation. What is the impact of this voltage regulation on the power system? Then how to correct the voltage regulations. Then what is the power factor? Then which power factor is better for so admitting in the power system or nothing but the utilized in the power system. So how to improve this power factor? All these things we are going to discuss in unit 3 or chapter 3. Okay. Now see this today's lecture voltage regulation and power factor. Before going to this today's class, once again we have to rewind in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, the simple view once again you can rewind this very quickly. You can rewind this chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, yes, yes, all of you see this voltage, I mean unit 1. We already discussed about the some different types of power quality. So what is power quality? Any deviation in the power system, that may be a voltage or current, you can call it as the some power quality issues. Okay, that power quality issues you can generally classify it into the different categories. Okay, you can categorize it as a long duration, short duration, transient over voltages, unbalanced voltages, and waveform distortions, voltage fluctuations, or frequency variations, voltage sags, voltage swells, some interruptions, all other things, whatever it may be, any deviation in the power system that leads to the power quality problem. But you know that one thing, the deviation also you can allowed up to the 10%. Plus or minus 10% is allowed. Other than that, you can call it as some power quality issues. Okay, so that we can discuss in the chapter on. Then some basic definitions of all those things. Then come to the chapter 2, voltage imperfections in power system. In depth, we are already discussed what is voltage sag, how that sag is present in the system, how to remove that sags in the system. So at the same time, what is voltage swells in the system? How the voltage swells are produced in the system? Then what are the interruptions? Then what are the causes for voltage sags and cells in the system? Then what is the nonlinear loads? All the things. Then how to protect the system from over voltages? All the things we are already discussed about it. Once again, you have to see this basic, the very important. Uh, I mean table, a very important table. A very important table, this one. A transience, you know that a transience. Okay, first one you can call it as a transience. Transience that we can divide into the two types: impulsive transient as well as the, you see this, impulsive transience as well as the oscillating transience. How this impulsive transience is produced in the system? How this impulsive transience is produced in the system? See this transience. How this transience is produced in the system? See, transience, transience. Transience, how the transience produced in the system? Impulsive, then second one is oscillating. What is impulsive here? Because of lightning, these impulse transients are produced. How these transients are produced? Because of the some capacitor switchings. Capacitor switching. Okay, this may leads to the some power quality issues, voltage sags, and the swell, as well as interruptions. So this lightning is also leads to the sag as well as some interruptions. A very short duration. This is short duration. Why these capacitors are used for improving the power factor in substation? Because of these problems, so transients are erased in the system. Okay. Now see the next one. Some short duration voltage variations is nothing but the you can divide into the instantaneous, momentary, temporary, whatever it may be, all the things. So those are entirely depends upon the time. You know that. What is the difference between short duration voltage variations as well as long duration voltage variations? Short duration voltage variations are present in the system less than 1 minute. When come to the long duration voltage variations, those are present in the system more than 1 minute. That we can treat it as a long duration voltage variations. So again, this long duration and voltage variations, we can substitute it into the instantaneous moment and temporary. Again, the number of cycles that present in the system. Okay, at the same time, the magnitude also, the magnitude. If it is interruption, that magnitude is less than 0.11 pu, nothing but less than 10% of the normal voltage. If it is a sag, that is the range is from 0.5 cycles to the 30 cycles in short duration. Then what is the voltage variation in per unit value? So nothing but 0.1 to 0.9, nothing but 10% to the 90%, below that voltage levels, below the 10% to the 90%. Okay. If it is a swell, what is the time duration? So 0.5 cycles to the 30 cycles, what is that? 1.1 to the 1.8 is nothing but, so 110% to the 180%. Okay, that is the levels. Okay, now see this that levels once again. We can see this levels. We can draw the diagram. You see this voltage. You can see this voltage sag. Okay, na? The diagram is. This is the time in seconds. Seconds. This is voltage or time. Now see this. This is 1 pu. 0 minus 1 pu. This is the sag. This we can call it as the sag. So this range, now see, look at this range. 1 pu, 1 pu is equal to 100% for suppose that is present at the 10% to 90% range. So this is, so up to the here, up to the 10%, nothing 0.1 pu to the, up to this one, 0.9 pu. If it is a swell, what is if it is a swell? Not voltage swell. If it is a swell, now see this diagram. One pu. This we can treat it as a minus 1 pu. Now you can see this swell more than the voltage levels, more than the normal voltage levels. This is time in seconds. So 1 pu, okay, 1.52, so 1.5 pu or 2 pu. You can see this, you can observe this more the voltage, we can call it as well. So that levels is 1.1 pu to 1.8 pu. The time is less than 1 minute. Here the time is less than 1 minute. It's nothing but you can, if it is 100, nothing but 110 volts to, or 110 to the 180%. You can see this. You can calculate it in normal. So what is interruption? You know that interruption. So voltage or current, we can treat it as a 1 pu 0 minus 1 pu. Now this we can call it as an interruption, because that magnitude, you know that magnitude is less than 0.1 pu or less than 10%. What is the time? Less than 1 minute. These are the short. So for the same, the magnitude 10% to the 90%, here 110% to the 180%, and less than 10% magnitude for the same. The only difference is the time that we can call it as a long. When those are present more than 1 minute, we can call it as a long duration voltage variations. Under long duration voltage variations, SAG you can call it as a under voltage. Voltage well you can call it as a over. Interruption is same. Interruption is interruption. If it is greater than 1 minute, greater than 1 minute. It is less than 1 minute. As well is less than 1 minute. So many times I am repeating this one. Greater than 1 minute. These are the long durations. Voltage swell. How this voltage swells? Because of capacitors. Because of capacitor switching. Most of the cases, a voltage swells are occurred in the system. Okay. Now we can look at this once again. You can see this. Now those are long duration and short durations. Now we can see this voltage unbalances, any deviations, wave distortions, DC. Any you know that what is DC offset? Any AC power, there are some amount of DC power is present. How that DC power is present in the system? Because of power electronic devices, some amount of DC power is injected into the system, that we can call it as a DC offset. Then you know that harmonics. We have the different types of harmonic: first order harmonic, second order, third order, and fourth order, and so on. So first order harmonic, you can call it as the fundamental harmonic, that is the 50 Hz. Then all other things we can call it as the some harmonic problems in the system or harmonic distortions. What is interharmonics here? What is interharmonics? In between, for suppose our harmonics are 50 Hz. Next, what is for second harmonic order? It is 100 Hz. 2 into 50 is second order. 3 into 50 is third order, and so on. What is interharmonic? In between the 50 to 100, or in between the 100 to the 150. Those for suppose it is a 90 Hz, that we can call it as a interharmonics. You know that notchings as well as switching on and off, that produces the notching and noises in the system. And voltage fluctuations we already discussed, and power frequency. So out of this, transients, okay, nothing but impulsive and oscillatory, as well as voltage sags and swells and long durations are considered the most important. We are already discussed about this, and at the same time we are also discussing about the voltage over voltage protection. So that we can discuss in the first and second chapter. Then we can see once again another one type of problem. You can see voltage regulations. Okay, so this is not the problem. I'm not saying this is not the problem. This is the one measure to identify. Okay, which type of nothing but the how much amount of loss is there in the system. Okay, that we are discussing in the voltage regulation. Okay, voltage regulation. Now see this voltage regulation. So what is the principle of voltage regulation? You know that what is voltage regulation in especially power system. We can call it as a voltage regulation is nothing but here the difference between the sending end voltage to the sending end voltage to the receiving end voltage, or the measure of sending end voltage to the receiving end voltage. We can call it as the voltage regulation. Okay, the measure. Okay, so the measure is nothing but how to measure that voltage regulation from the sending end to the receiving end, the voltage magnitudes. So this we can calculate it in both transmission as well as the distribution. On which side we have getting the more voltage regulation, distribution side, nothing but because the loads the more loads we are connecting on the distribution side. But this distribution side impact is also present at the transmission side. So percentage, in simple you can call it as a percentage voltage regulation. In simple you can call it as a percentage voltage regulation. Sending in voltage, okay, minus receiving end voltage at by receiving end voltage. In some cases we can based on the reference, or we can take it as a sending end as a reference, or we can take it as a receiving end as a reference, or receiving end voltage minus sending end voltage by sending end voltage, whatever it may be. You can calculate as a difference, the percentage. It gives this some regulation, nothing but the difference. What is the difference? The difference is nothing but the magnitudes that we can based on the, okay, based on the which one, based on the some magnitudes. So which magnitudes? Because of the loads, the magnitudes of the receiving side is changes. Okay, I will explain clearly. You can see this. Now you can see the second point. You can see this point. So it can provide the some so it can describes the ability of the system to provide near constant voltage over a wide range of load conditions. We can see this. What is this point? Now see this some because of variation in the load, it may changes the voltage regulation. So it will cause us the some impedances changes in the system. It will leads to the voltage regulations. Now see this source Vs. This is ZL, line impedance. This is load. Based on the load, okay, based on the load, the amount of current is changes. The current drawn by the load is different from different types of the loads. Because of this loads, what will happen? The impedance in the system is changes. If the impedance changes, the receiving end voltage, nothing but Vs, VR, receiving end voltage is changes. Okay, so Vs minus VR. So the total voltage that received from the receiving end is changes because of the load. You know the different types of the load. Some capacitive load, some inductive load. In the nature, most of the loads are inductive. So some resistive loads. At the same time, you have non-linear loads. You know that what is non-linearity? Some power electronic devices leads to the non-linear loads. Okay, this what will happen? This non-linearities will inject or some changes, some currents in the system. That will leads to the R plus JXL. It changes. The impedance in the system is changes. What will happen if the sudden load is removed in the system, the impedance in the system, or the receiving end voltage is changes? What will happen when the suddenly when you on the load, on the heavy loads on the system load side? What will happen? The impedance on the system is changes. So the percentage voltage regulation is very less. If the system, you can consider it as a lossless system, very less losses in the system. The voltage regulation is more, then we can treat it as a, if the system has more false. Fortunately, in our Andhra, and compared to the all other states in India, so the losses, the transmission and distribution losses are very less. That means the voltage regulation is very less. If the losses in the system is increased, what will happen? The cost of the are nothing but the cost of the maintaining the system is increases. Okay, so sending in voltage minus receiving in voltage will gives the voltage regulation. So this voltage regulation is depends upon the changes in the impedances in the system. How that impedance changes depends on the load type of load. Depends on the type of load. When you see the capacitor load, what will happen? Voltage regulation is very less because it can inject some voltages in the system. You can supply some voltages in the system. So the voltage regulation is very less when you take the capacitor loads cases. In sometimes you will also sending in voltage is less when compared to the receiving in voltage. In sometimes because of this capacitive effect. But most of the cases because we can treat it as a transmission line, it can some 500 kilometers. You can treat it as some load, some lines, some line impedance. You can treat it as line impedance. This gap is must because you can treat it. You can for suppose you can send it here voltage to the some 11 kV or 33 kV. You can step down by using some step down transformer. You can can step down to the 11 kV. In between 33 kV to the 11 kV, there is some voltage drop. Okay, so that we can calculate it in the voltage regulation. Now see some points, some important points. Okay, now see how to improve this voltage regulation. Improving means here how to reduce this voltage regulation. Nothing but so how to reduce that voltage regulation. Nothing but Vs minus VR. How to reduce this gap. Vd is 100 volts for suppose in the receiving side you only get the some for suppose 95 volts. What about this 5%? 5% we can treat it as a loss. That we can treat it as a percentage voltage regulation. Simply, how to reduce this 5% voltage regulation to some 3% or 2% or 4%? How to reduce this voltage regulation? How to achieve this nearly the 100 volts? Secondary side, nothing but the receiving side. How to achieve? You are sending 100 volts, but you receive only the 95 because of the impedance in the present in the system, or because of the different types of loads we are using this system. The load current changes that affect in the impedance. Impedance changes, so the sending in voltage to the receiving in voltage is changed. Okay. Now see how to improve that one. We can add some capacitors. As I said, you can add some shunt capacitors in the substation to reduce the current. Okay, to reduce the current and shift into the phase voltage, and you can increase the voltage. Then second one, you can see some voltage regulators, which can boost the voltages. Voltage regulators, which can boost the we can in these voltage regulators you have different types of some tap changing transformers, some online UPSs, again some ferro resonance transformers. Different types of equipments are there for regulating the voltages. So these capacitors we are also using for improving the power factor also. Okay, this capacitor we are also using for the improving the power factor also. Then we can see then what is the third case here? Can reduce or reconductor lines to large size to reduce the impedance. What is this reconductor lines? What is this reconductor line? Very simply, we are transmitting some source Vs, some ZL. So this is 100 km line. What will happen? 100 km line. What will happen here? If the line length is increases, what will happen? The impedance is also changes, varies. So we can reduce this one. That also depends upon the conductors also. You know that a silver is a good conductor. A gold is a very good conductor. It has very less losses. So when compared to this, we are whatever we are using nowadays lines, but so the conductor has some limitations. The main thing is cost. Okay. Now what is the fourth point here? Change the substation service transformer to large size to reduce the impedance. What is this point? What is this point? So to reduce so more than that voltage levels. For suppose so large size means here if it is a 11 kV system, you can update it into the 33 kV. That we can call it as large size, not the size. Can increases the size to reduce the impedance in the system. Then what about the other things? Yes, some dynamic reactive power compensations. Nothing but we can add the DVR, some D StatComs and all other things. Static war compensators. To provide to minimize the rapidly changes in the loads. Then next one is add some series capacitors. Now you can add here the shunt capacitors. You can add here some series capacitors to cancel the inductive impedance drop in IX. But this is we are using very less cases. This we are using more cases. So series compensation we are using very rare cases. Okay, static compensation we are using more cases, or more often you are using the static compensation. Okay, now see some principle here. Now see some example. So this is the sending end. This is the sending end. Yes. This is the receiving end. VR. Based on the load, what will happen? This characteristics is changes. Now see, I am consider V2 is the reference, or VR or V2. Okay, or whatever. You know that by drawing the phasor diagrams, we have the different types of the assumptions are there. Different types of assumptions are there. So when you take the resistive load, it is a 90%. It is 90%. If it is an inductive load, or if it is inductive load, it's dark. It is some lagging, some angle pi. If it is a capacitive load, leading some angle pi. Capacitive load. This is inductive load. If it is a resistive load, sometimes they can treat it as a in line with the, or in parallel with the inductor, or nothing but the output voltage in parallel. So leading as well as lagging as well as unity. How this happen? We can treat it as a leading. In this case, we can treat it as a capacitive loads. Lagging, you can consider as inductive. Inductive, some unity. You can UPF, unity power factor, treat it as a resistive. How this resistive loads will occur in the system? So in this diagram here, they can consider this some V1 as the reference. So because of the inductive load, they can consider it as inductive load. You know that in the nature, most of the loads were considered as inductive in nature. Some in the phase angle, it can reduce the torque. So according to the current. So what is this impedance? What is this total impedance? What is this total impedance here? So this is the load characteristics. Now you can see this total impedance. If the amount of current changes are injected by the system, so what will happen? The load, it is a capacitive. If it is a capacitive, here they can consider as inductive load. Here they can consider as inductive. If it is a capacitive load, what will happen? What will happen? The impedance in the system is changes. At the same time, inductive is also the impedance in the system is changes because of the current that is taken by the load is changes. The current, now see this current, this current, this current. If this current is changes, what will happen? The IR is changes, IX is changes. If it is a capacitive load, now see this V1. This is some voltage V2. Okay, in accordance with the some phase angle pi. Capacitive loads, the currents is I1 or I, that is the current. I, that is the current that is changes. So in according with the this one, the amount of capacitance that is changes is like this, this IR, this IX, IR, this one IR, this one IX. So this is capacity, this is inductive. You know, now see this impedance Z. You can consider all these two here Z. You can see this Z. Now you can calculate the amount of impedance in these two cases, inductive as well as the this capacitor. Now you can see this uh, some V2 or V1 in the cases of resistive. So what will happen here? Some V2 is taken here in phase with the system. Less amount of changes in the impedance. But we will take the inductive as well as capacitive loads. The nature of the load, the total amount of impedance that is changes in the system is changes. So that will leads to the some sorry that will leads to the changes in the impedance. That changes in the impedance will leads to the voltage regulation. So remember one thing, based on the load, so Vs minus Vr changes. You know that this is the some best example. Some capacitive loads. You can see the phasor diagram. So the amount of impedance. What is that impedance? Z is equal to R plus JXL. Or here Z equal to R plus JXC. So the amount of the current, the line currents or impedance changes. The impedance changes, the sending end voltage to the receiving end is changes obviously. Okay, this is the voltage regulation as simply. So if it is a 100 volts, for suppose we can treat it as 100 volts for suppose. For suppose this is a 100 volts. You reach only the for suppose 95 volts. Why? Because of this impedance. How this impedance? This impedance is not constant always. This impedance, for suppose this 5% is dropped because of the line impedance. For suppose line impedance, because we are using some line it has some impedance. But this 95% is also not a constant because based on the load, again this 95% is changes up to the 90%, sometimes to the 98%, sometimes only 93%. That is based on the load again. The load is changes, the voltage regulation is also changes. Okay, now we can see this. You are dividing this voltage regulation into three major classes. Okay, so devices. We are how to minimize this voltage regulation. To minimize this voltage regulation, we are using some sort of the devices to reduce the voltage regulation, percentage of the voltage regulation. So how to reduce this? Then which type of devices we are using? So we are dividing. We have nearly more number of voltage regulating devices are there. So all the devices, we are nearly 10 to 15 types of voltage regulators are there. Voltage regulation devices are there. So we can combine all those things into three categories. First one is tap changing transformers. You know this tap changing transformers are mechanical as well as the manual as well as the automatic tap changing transformers are there. What is this isolation devices? Separate voltage regulators are nothing but some UPSs. So some online UPSs, some all such type of devices are used to maintain the voltage regulation, to reduce the voltage regulation. So what is this one third one? So some impedance compensation devices such as the capacitors is nothing but the shunt and you already seen this point already, shunt and series devices. Shunt and series devices. So shunt compensation, you can call it as shunt compensation. Okay, shunt compensation and series compensation. Shunt compensation and series compensation. Now this compensation devices we are using the substation and load side. The more number of compensation devices are there. Some capacitors for improving the some capacitors, some DVRs, D-STATCOMs, UPFCs, UPQCs. So many other compensating devices are there to improve the voltage regulation. The improving the voltage regulation means you can reduce the losses in the power system, or you can reduce the some power quality issues in the power system, power quality problems in the power system. Okay, so whatever we are discussing all from first class to the today class, our only aim is to can identify the different types of power quality problems. So how to reduce this power quality problem? That is a main thing. Okay, so now this coming to this voltage regulation, we have some type of devices. That devices were characterized into the three categories: tap changing transformers, isolation devices with the separate voltage regulators, and some compensation devices like shunt and series compensation devices. Now you can see this first one, tap changing transformers. Thoroughly, once again, we can discuss in deeply in the coming lectures. You can see this. Here, it has some both mechanical as well as electronic tap changing transformers. So, some mechanical tap changing transformers is nothing but some auto transformers are like this. Auto transformers, manual operated transformers. Some electronic tap changing transformers, nothing but some power electronic based tap changing transformers. Now see the some single line diagram. Some some power electronic based. Some taps 1, 2, 3, 4 tap changes. Some primary side, some secondary side. Some taps 1, 2, 3 based on the number of the amount of voltages, the less in the voltage levels in the secondary side. So the taps are changes. Some one it has some less number of windings. So it has gives the one less amount of voltages or less amount of voltages injected into the system. These are the some different types of the tap changing. So some manual operated and power electronic. And compared to the manual operated, so power electronic based tap changing transformer is very quickly to operate, to maintain the less amount of voltage regulation. Okay, so we are going to discuss. So in this category, we have some utility transformers and ferro resonance transformers is nothing but a constant transformers. Such type of transformers we are using for tap changing transformers in this category. Next class we are going to discuss on. The next one, then second category is isolation devices. We can consider it as UPSs, uninterrupted power supplies. So in this uninterrupted power supplies, you can use this some devices, some constant voltage or ferro resistance transformers. Okay, at the same time, motor generators sets. Motor generators. So why? Because of voltage. Whenever the voltage regulation is happened in the system in the second, so voltage regulation means here the changes of voltage levels. How the voltage levels are changes? The sudden you can suddenly add the load in the receiving side, or suddenly you can remove the load in the receiving side. There are some because of some lightnings in the systems, or more number of problems are there. Any power quality issues, any voltage deviations will lead to the voltage regulation also. So but because of but the main thing is how to calculate that voltage regulation. The main thing is depends on the impedance, the sending end voltage, the difference between the measure of the sending end to the receiving end, you can treat it as a some voltage regulation. So all the things, if the load is changes, or load that is drawn by the current is changes, the impedance that present in the system is changes, the percentage of voltage regulation is also changed. That is very simple thing, very simple. Source vs z load. This is changes every time, every time. You know, you know that which type of load the consumer or the customer is using. What will happen if this is changes? This is Vs changes. If it is changes, sorry, VR it changes. How it is changes? Because of the load. If so, nothing but current is changes. So if this current is changes, what will happen? The impedance changes. If the impedance changes, so Vs, nothing but Vs minus VR is changes. It's very simple. Okay, we can maintain this. See, VR, our aim is to maintain VR is constant. We can maintain VR is constant. We can maintain VR is constant. How to maintain this VR is constant? By using this some type of devices, tap changing transformers, isolation devices. Okay, then some capacitors. Some capacitors. We can maintain the constants. Some capacitors. We can treat it as a capacitance. We have two types of capacitor you can configure in two ways. In the shunt to the system as well as series to the system. You remember in capacitors we are connected in both sides. In the substation side, at the same side, and load side. So by improving the power factor, so when you improving the power factor means when you improve the voltage regulation. Simple. So when you improve the power factor, we are using some shunt capacitors in the substations. But in the load side, our consumers are also using some capacitors for maintaining the uninterrupted power supply or uninterrupted power in the homes or some industries. So that will also leads, you know, that if this capacitor some all other devices, so that has some advantages, and at the same time it has some disadvantages also. What will happen? This shunt capacitors using this by improving the voltage regulation, because of this shunt capacitor effect, you have to produce, it produces the oscillatory transients in the system. But why it is used? Why it is used in the system? To improve the power factor and to improve the voltage regulation. But because of this one, it will produces the oscillations in the system. So every device it has causes some losses in the power system. You know that some another devices, some tap changing, automatic tap changing transformers that we are using power electronics. That power electronics leads to the non-linearities in the system. That will causes the some transients in the system. Again, voltage, some voltage access. So we are using these devices for one purposes. So the devices is also producing some problems in the system. So some shunt capacitors to reduce then to maintain the constant voltage levels, more constant voltage levels. So we can use this shunt capacitors. Okay. Now we can also at the same time we can also use it for a series capacitors. So series capacitors we are also using for most of the capacitors we are using for distribution side. So to improve the voltage regulations. So what is the series capacitance is did? So it can reduces or it can compensate the inductance in the system. Okay, it can compensate inductance that present in the system, series capacitor. The system is highly inductive. What will happen if you are connecting this series capacitance to the system? It reduces the impedance. If the impedance in the system, if the impedance in the system is reduces, so what will happen? The voltage regulation is voltage regulation. You can improve the voltage regulation. So now there are another type is also there, static var compensators. I already said DVIs, these static terms, UPFCs and UPQCs, UPFCs and UPQCs, some type of devices also there to improve the power. Okay, so these are the some devices. What are the devices here? Once again, you can see. So here see a voltage regulation. Voltage regulation is nothing but the here VS. Here this we have the VS. This is the VR. The difference you can treat it as a voltage regulation. How the difference is occurred because of the impedance in the system. So how this impedance changes because of the loads depends on the different types of the loads. Okay, if the load is changes, what will happen? That again that load is capacitive as well as inductive and the resistive loads, and as well as some non-linear loads and critical loads and most different types of loads. Okay, based on these loads, what will happen? The impedance that present in between the sending end as well as the receiving end is changes. So that will lead to the more changes in the voltage. So nothing but this is the 100 volts, this is 95 volts because of this 5% drop because of this impedance. So this 5% drop is usually considered as a line impedance. Line impedance. But this 95% is not fixed. This is changes. This is variable. How this is variable? Because of the load. Okay. So how to improve? Now you see, you already see that some capacitors, some voltage regulators, and all. Now see some best example. This is one of the some best example. Depends upon the load. This is inductive in nature. The impedance as injected in the system is changes. It will causes the some percentage of the voltage regulation. Now you can see the capacitor. It will also causes the some percentage of voltage regulation. Some resistive. It will also leads to the some percentage of voltage regulation. Okay. So in the next class we are going to see some again some different devices to regulate the voltage regulation. Thank you. Thank you for joining today's class. Thank you.